Are you rethinking your purpose in life? Being centered in a strong spiritual connection is more important now than ever. Hi, I'm Bryn Blankinship, hypnotherapist, international instructor, and author. Each episode, along with Dr. Pat, I'll share my experiences with guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and the soul lessons gained, prompting you to explore your own soul's journey and empowering you by shifting your perception of yourself and your place in this world. I want you to know that you're here by design, not by accident. You are not alone. You are loved. You are here on purpose for a purpose. When you stand in your truth and fulfill your purpose, you support others in fulfilling theirs. If this intrigues you, stay tuned in as we explore.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Dr. Pat, and I take this beautiful journey with the most incredible Bryn Blankinship. This is, of course, the show about Afterlife teacher, but it's more than that. It's about soul lessons. It's about bringing life and that beyond to full circle. Today, we're talking about soul lessons and life challenges. Bryn, before we go forward, I would love people to know how they get in contact with you, because many of you may or may not know I had the honor of working with Bryn and having one of my first past life regressions done. And I have to tell you, it was amazing. And I am sharing that with Linda, my best friend. So we're going to be going through it. And it's so important. Now, what I want to say about it, and Bryn probably doesn't know this, I'm probably going to come back to Bryn and say, can you help me understand ... Why? Because there are lessons to learn. There are things to understand. Challenges in life happen, but we don't have to become our challenge, do we, Bryn?
We do not.
So how do people get in contact with you? I want to put that out there right away.
They can reach me through my website, brynblankinship.com, and just, go in through the contact page and send me a note. And, we have these soul lessons and challenges on purpose, or else why would we be here? Like, why else come? What else is there to do?
Which is exactly right. But that leads to the question about this, about the role that the soul does play in this version of our incarnation. So let's talk about the soul. And of course, let's look at you as the author of the book right behind you, if people could see that. That is actually a poster of your book. But let's talk about the soul. And, I often have thought, is the soul like a GPS? Now, of course, I'm minimizing that. But for my brain, I ask myself, is the soul guiding me? And why do I get confused sometimes that the soul may not be for my highest self?
Because it can be confusing, right? So let's talk a little bit. Let's start with, what role does the soul play in our incarnations, right? Because people don't realize your soul is planning out the life that you're going to live and has an active role in doing that. So your soul is your highest self that stays in the spirit realm. And then a piece of your soul comes down into each of your bodies for your incarnations to experience that lifetime. So part of us, the bigger part, our soul, stays back, and a portion comes into this body and that's how we stay connected to our guides, our soul advisory council, our high council. That's how we stay in touch to loved ones as well when they cross over. Well, when they're here and when they cross over, because the soul is there, our soul, their soul, communicating. Like right now, Dr. Pat and I, our soul and the whole team, the whole production team is having a meeting on that side, bringing things together for us to have a meeting here and come together for the listeners so that they can be in touch. And so the thing to know is that your soul knows the truth about all of your incarnations, not just this one. Okay, so your soul knows everything that you need to know. Think of it like a giant internet that knows everything that you need to know and that you can tap in. Now, some things you don't need to know for this incarnation about other lifetimes, but the things that are relevant to what's happening now, you can tap into. And your soul communicates through your intuition, but it also, like I said, it has a role in planning out the life. So I'm talking about body selection. The body that you're experiencing life through was chosen by your soul for a reason. It could be a similar format, so to speak, as that would be a smooth entry for your small soul coming in for this lifetime, or it could be in opposition to your soul. So you could have a strong body, strong mind, like strong-willed, but you could have a gentle soul. Or you could have a stronger soul and be in a gentle body that's really soft-spoken and would be in opposition to the soul force that your soul carries. And I wanted to talk a little bit about soul force because I've had clients describe this to me, and I have a little visual. So this is a sword that one of my students, who is now a colleague in Asia, gave me. And it represents what my client speaks about in the Limitless Soul, about how the soul sits in the body. It comes in at the belly button, comes in at that point, and then runs up an energy ball that runs up your spine to your third eye. And I love to use this little imagery with clients because it's kind of like this is your hips, this is the seat of the soul running up the spine to your third eye. And that is the part that is communicating. So sometimes when you get a soul hit, like you get a message and you get that feeling, you
Yeah.
might get chill bumps on your arms. Some people get full body chill bumps, right? It's because your soul is sitting in your body. And there are times that we are not expressing our soul from our best expression of ourself. We feel closed off. So our energy ball is pulled back. But when our chakras are open and everything is flowing, everything is just open, and we are just hosting our soul and our body, and it's mind, body, spirit, and emotions all working together, helping you to exist on this planet as the version of yourself that you are this time for this incarnation. So there's a lot wrapped up into what I just mentioned, but think of it like an internal lightsaber that kind of runs up your spine, keeps everything lit, knows how to keep everything running in your body. You know, like I don't have to think about my heart. It just knows to pump. My lungs know to breathe. My mind knows to work, hopefully. And, if I need help, I can just tune in to that higher
Mm.
space through this network that's running through me. It's really
What
fascinating.
It's fascinating, but it's so critically important. And this becomes more and more important as we continue to grow and expand in the digital age. And the reason I say that is because we are bombarded with so much information. And someone said to me not too long ago in a show that their greatest fear was that we would forget we had intuition. And I want to talk about that for a minute. I play a little game in the morning, Wordle. I sit down, Linda and I have coffee before we go on our day, and I play the little Wordle game that's on my phone. I don't do a lot of games, but I do this one where you have to get the word. And so for the past couple days, it's like I would pick a word and then I would get the word in the second try. And Linda said to me, how did you pick that word? How did you know to pick that first word? So in the past, I would just try to explain it logically. Now I said, you know what? I got an intuitive hit, and that's the word.
Yes.
That's it.
It's like your soul is dropping in the message into your mind to give you that hit, right? So, the soul has ways of communicating with us, and it will give you that hit. It will put people in your path that you're meant to come across. So we have these soul agreements, okay? These are happening at a soul level. Like on some level, Dr. Pat and I said, hey, why don't we do a show together? She actually asked me a few years ago when I was on her show when my book came out, and it just wasn't the right time. But thankfully, she came back to me, and this time I didn't hesitate and I said yes. So everything was lined up, and we had that soul agreement there. And that recognition here, when it came through, everything just lit up. And so I'm just going to go ahead and start. I want to
Yeah.
talk about soul agreements and soul
Yes.
groups because souls lovingly take on various roles when incarnating to help us and help them. So they are learning from their side of the experience, whatever it is they're to learn. And what they're learning is helping us. So members of our soul group do that, but we also share a common purpose as part of that soul group. So you can take on each side of the experience to learn the lesson. So what I mean by that is you can learn about love by having love or losing love or not having love. So that when you have love again, you can appreciate it better. Or you can learn by being the villain or the victim. You can learn by being the overbearing one or the helpless one, because there's learning on each side. So the other soul is helping you with your lesson when they're overbearing, for example. If they're overbearing, then it's a lesson for you to learn not to be helpless and learn to speak up, right? Learn to express yourself. And if you speak up more, they're going to back down usually, right? It's when they become overbearing and your energy shrinks. But when you expand your energy and learn to express yourself as part of your lesson, then it is teaching them not to be so overbearing and to back off a little. So it's like a give and take with the souls. And then some souls, that part of the lesson they're trying to teach you is there's a time you have to walk away. Like there are times that you have to walk away from that person for the sake of yourself. Or there are times that you have to learn just to communicate. Often things can be resolved with communication, but we don't want to speak up or it's hard to do. So some souls will come in as a parent, child, and other times they'll come in as the child with the same members in their soul group. So your parent now could be your child in your past. I have clients that will say things like, when my child was young, we were driving down the road, and in the little car seat from the back, I hear this voice that says, Mommy, do you remember when you were in my belly and I was the mom? And she's like, I almost drove off the road, but my child knew because children know at a young age, right? They have memories and recall of these experiences where we've forgotten, we've shut things down. Souls can come in as teacher student, they could come in as mentor mentee, many other roles that they could play. I'm just giving you some examples here. And your soul group is that core group of souls that incarnate with you, and you play the different roles. So think of it like an acting troupe. And you're going to play the different roles. And then when you die and you cross back over and you meet up again, it's like, hey, remember that time where I did this that made you so mad? Wasn't that fun? Well, it's not fun while we're here, but it's kind of fun when they get back and, laugh about it. Because there's so much humor in the spirit realm
Yeah.
telling us to lighten up because we get so serious down here. We need to remember to lighten up. So, incarnating souls offer spirit guides a chance to mentor, and this is helping them guide not only our soul's growth, but theirs and their soul's purpose. Because as mentors and as guides, they're moving up to the next level, and we're helping them by giving them someone to guide, as well as their own purpose as well. So it kind of works like that. So your soul has a big role in the planning of your incarnation with your entire spiritual team. And there are times where the soul might want to experience something, and guides might nudge them in another direction. Or they might say, you've got quite a few challenges on your plate. Are you sure you want to take on that much? And the soul has the opportunity to say, oh, yes, I want to take that on. And then sometimes we get here and we're like, oh my gosh, why did I sign up for that? You know? But by knowing that you signed up for it, knowing that your soul created this experience for you to learn, puts you in a place of empowerment,
Yeah.
helps you find the solution to get out of it. And like a great example is when Dr. Pat was saying how she's playing that game and the words drop in. It's kind of like that, but with other things. Like when you're working on, a job dilemma and you want to change jobs, and should I or should I stick it out? What should I do? When you can sit back and let the information drop in instead of come from overthinking it at the
Mhm.
mind level, you will get clear answers. And that's what I want to share with y'all. That's what this podcast is about, teaching you how to be in touch with your soul and help you live your soul's purpose and how to communicate with your soul. And so how do I say this? Okay, when I'm doing sessions with clients, we are bending time.
Yeah,
And the planet is encased in time, but we are working outside of time. But Earth, we have time so we can experience growth. If there was no time, there's no time is a way of measuring. So you can't measure growth, or you can't, like from childhood to adulthood, you
yeah,
wouldn't be able to measure that if it was all just in this moment. So when we're outside of time and back in our true home in the cosmic realms, we are timeless and we have access to all. And we can't even fathom what that means. We can try to, but the guides say you can't really know that until you get back there. So just understand that your soul plans the situation that you're to experience, and then you choose how you're going to experience it,
yeah.
coming from your highest place or your lowest place of love that you can experience in that moment. All
Yeah, I
right.
love this. I love talking about this because since, you and I have started to work a little bit together, I've been able to look back at my life and have a very different perspective on the dots that got connected, right? Look, the day I walked down my stairs and looked in the mirror and I explained this, I say, I think if my body was taken over by an alien, but it wasn't. It really was my soul, right? It was the team having me look in the mirror and say, you need to see the reality. You need to see what's inside of you, Pat, is not working. You don't believe in what they're doing. And that led me to go back to work, become extremely rebellious, lose my job over it. However, had that not happened, Bryn, I wouldn't have gone back to school. I wouldn't have moved to Seattle. I wouldn't have gone on to school. I wouldn't have been here. And I wouldn't be here now talking with you that one point. Now, I'm not saying there aren't other points. Challenging as that was such a pivotal point, and all I had to do was follow the breadcrumbs, which
Yes.
I did at that point, and I didn't look back.
And I've done the same. I wouldn't be sitting here if I hadn't stood up and accepted those challenges and taken those steps. Sometimes you're right at the edge and you feel like giving up, but that's when everything's about to break through, right? Into the new life, into the new way. I teach my students this all the time, during hypnosis certification. I'm teaching them, not only techniques, but they're seeing their life change. From level 1 to level 2, a lot of tremendous and wonderful life changes happen. And I mean, like just seeing things in their life in a new way that's empowering, and good things, positive relationships coming out of that. So why do we take on these life challenges, right? Because, like we said, it's a part of coming to Earth to experience the planet, and Earth is the emotional planet. Not all planets have emotions. Some are planets of light, some are planets of sound, color, bliss, joy, right? But on Earth, we come here to experience emotions, and we're helping others with their karma while you're experiencing yours. And then we're assisting mankind by incarnating now during this time in history. And we are also, we're part of the global shift that's taking place. And another thing is that the earth absorbs our energy. So if we're joyful and happier, coming from our highest self versus our lowest, if we're coming from our highest self, the earth feels that energy. If we contribute to negativity and low level energies of fear, shame, guilt, anger, then the earth absorbs that too. So we are sending energy out just by being here and allowing the earth to inhabit, what's the word I'm trying to say?
It's almost like you're untethered. I mean, there's this idea that we're
Yes.
talking about where, and this is very difficult to put English language to. And the reason I say that is because no matter how many times I have heard you speak about things like past life regression and soul, when you experience the moments, and even this week, I had a moment of this where I just had a conversation with my soul. Now, I didn't say, but it was like, look, I've done everything you've pointed me to do.
Hmm.
Can you please make it easier? Right. So this
Yes.
is me, me having a moment and saying, please make it easier. Show me how I can make it easier on myself.
I like to say, and show me what to do now,
Show me what to
right?
do.
Show me
Yeah.
what to do. So you get centered, you stay in that moment. And oh, and what I was trying to say is that the earth feels the energy of those inhabiting her. And so we are assisting with the energetic field around the earth's field, energetic field, because we are contributing to it by the energy we are bringing in. And so staying away from those negative people or things on the news and things that can be negative, find out what's happening in the world. Just don't let it consume you, right? And one other thing too is that another reason for incarnating is we haven't finished the lesson. So we need a series of lifetimes to do that. So what we're talking about is how your soul communicates with you. And what I like to do is just get in the moment, get clear, because sometimes you start thinking about something too much. Stop thinking, take a deep breath, just breathe from your belly, and then be open, open your heart, and then ask your soul to show you the way. Show me what to do now, because your soul is with you even when you don't think your soul is there, right? Your guides are guiding you, even if you're not listening, even if you think you've missed it, your guides are still guiding you to keep you on track. They're helping, but it would be smoother if we could learn to listen. We could get through things a little smoother, quickly,
Yeah.
easier if we could listen and save ourselves from building up more karma in a negative way that we don't want to, create. So your guides are with you. They're giving gentle nudges. They are putting people on your path. They are sending you signs and messages, angel numbers. If you see double digits, triple digits, that's them saying, hey, we're here. If you're having a great day and you're living in a joyful space, that's wonderful because that keeps you alive, that keeps you lively, and
Hmm.
that keeps you more connected. Your heart is open. But when you're having a low level day, flip it around. Find some things in your life that you're grateful for. Find things, just take a look around and notice the things that are working for you. And then ask for help with the things that you want to improve on.
And I think
Not
this is the
usually
real key
everything.
point. I
It's usually
mean,
one or two things.
but we don't ask for help. And I see this has been the aha moment for me. It's like we can stop and ask for help at any point in time for whatever thing we need help with. And boy, if we could just remember that thing and to have that conversation, we will get a message. We will get a direction. It happened to me this morning. And yet, sometimes we're so resistant to it, aren't we?
Yes. And you have to ask the question and let it go. You can't sit there and dwell on it because then you're getting back in your head. So,
Yeah.
like, show me the way and help me with this project that I think of it as a project, not a problem. But help me find the solution. Help me with this project of what I'm working on next. And then I have to go walk away and go do something else. And when I'm driving down the road, they like to put songs on the radio. There is a song for everything, y'all. There is a song for everything. And the words will be so specific, you can't help but laugh out loud, knowing, okay, they sent me that song to tell me to chill, or that song to give me guidance. If it's a specific person, I'll bet you it's going to be a song that's going to have their name in the song. I had a student that just signed up for class. We have a class coming up in March and April, if anybody's interested in getting certified. And she said, I was debating whether I was going to do it this time or not because I've been wanting to, and it's finally starting to line up. And your name came on the radio in a song in a way that I knew it was you. Like two or three things happened in a row. And she's like, okay, how many signs do I need to tell me, okay, this is what I need to do.
See, I
So
love that. And, this is really the key for many people out there. Bryn, tell us about your certification, but also tell us how we can find out more about you and how people can work with you, how they can get certified. Because what I love about this is my how should I say it, acceleration of growth comes from wanting to learn. And taking a course or becoming certified is one of the most masterful ways to do that. And you just get cracked open in a positive way. So, how do people sign up? How do they find out more about you?
So you can sign up, you can find out about the course, and you can sign up through brynblankinship.com or the hypnoregressioninstitute.com. And if you have questions, certainly go to the contact list, contact page and email me through that. But you can sign up
Yeah.
directly if you're spiritually oriented and you have a desire to help others. The thing about the course is it's on Zoom, it's international, and it is not just you're going to learn technique. You are going to experience it. There's going to be lecture, there's going to be demo. I'm going to do class demonstrations to show you these techniques. And then you're going to go through your own practice sessions with other students in a breakout room so that you can work through whatever you want to work on. So level one, we work on clinical hypnosis techniques for any kind of an issue. And then level two, we work on past life regression and some ancestral work, and you can learn to clear ancestral lines. You can learn to clear past life things, experiences, challenges, habits that you've brought forward. That's what I mean about the transformation. You're not just going to sit there and I'm going to lecture you all day. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show you, and then you're going to go do it. Because I want you to get the skill set of doing. This is not about learning a lot of information. This is about applying the information in a way that you can help others and
Yeah.
start a new career path. A lot of people do this full time. A lot of people do it as a job change. Some people want just a part-time job. Some teachers want a summertime job or weekend job or after school job. So it fits many different lifestyles, and you can do part or full time depending on how you want to set up your practice. I'm giving you a lot of information, and then you fine tune it to your life and what you want to do with it.
I love it. Bryn Blankinship, everybody. What a great show. Thank you for doing this. And for those of you out there, I will tell you this. That is my experience of Bryn. You get to experience your learning, and therefore your cellular memory of what happens to you, you'll be able to carry forward and help others. Bryn, thank you so much for today.
Thank you.
Stefan, thank you so much. And to all of you out there, remember, sometimes we think, what the heck is going on here? But remember, there is a divine plan. And if you're like me and you get the chance to look back, you'll see how the soul in action clearly wanted me to get to where I am today. And I'm counting on the soul in action to get me to the finish line. We'll see you next time.
You've been listening to Afterlife Teacher, Soul Lessons bringing you full circle with Bryn Blankinship and Dr. Pat. Tune into Transformation Talk Radio for more discussions of the soul's journey across different lifetimes and soul lessons gained, helping you to consider the deeper reason you are here. Bryn shares her wisdom spanning 20 years of guiding spiritual regression clients into the afterlife and connecting them with their spiritual team and soul's purpose to bring them full circle, helping you gain insight into your own soul's purpose while supporting others and fulfilling theirs. Living in partnership with your soul, with less worry and greater trust, you can be in divine flow and thrive. For more information on becoming a certified hypnotherapist and regressionist and assisting with the global transformation taking place, visit brynblankinship.com.